inspections. We're at 1941 South Lincoln Street. We have the camera pushed out about 79 feet to the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. And it looks like you've got a little bit of a low spot right off the bat where you have a lot of standing water. That's a spot where waste can collect. If you look towards that turn, how there's a bunch of kind of grease built up on the line, that makes it easier for waste to get caught, which could create a blockage where it backs up towards the house. So the only way to fix bad grade is to dig it up and re-slope it. This is looking like cast iron. Real rough and rusty. The issue with cast iron is that it gets all that scale built up and it can catch debris. It also flakes and gets thinner over time. It will eventually need to be replaced. You can put a liner in it, but only if you have good grade, which, as we established, you have at least one area that would probably need to be re-sloped, ideally. I would certainly recommend getting the insurance on this line. That way, if and when you have a bigger issue, they can help offset that cost. It looks like a lot of cast that's broken off right there. I would recommend having this line coated, where they basically descale it, uses a chain that beats around in the pipe and takes off all that rust. That'll make it a lot smoother, less likely to catch debris. I saw some spots on this line where it had caught pieces of toilet paper or wet wipes. Not seeing any roots, which is great. And for the most part, it does look like you have good grade. But it is an older line, and it is cast iron. Certainly seen plenty of houses at this point that have already had to replace their cast. I don't know what this line's getting fed from. It's possible that you have a shared line with a neighbor. We're 35 feet out. If it is a shared line, I'm thinking about how far out we are. 35 feet. I don't think that's enough that we're dropping into the city line at that point. It's possible. We are pretty close to the street at this property. But I mean, that would be an incredibly short line. It might be worth getting the drawing from the city to find out if that is going into a shared line with a neighbor, or if that is hitting the city line at that point. In either case, this part of the pipe is certainly yours. Same issues. Cast iron will eventually need to be replaced. Looks pretty rough. Would be worth having cleaned now. My guess is that's probably shared with a neighbor, and if that's the case, that can limit what insurance options are available to you. A lot of companies won't insure a shared line. So HomeServe, for instance, that's one of the most common insurance plans that you can get in Salt Lake. It's real inexpensive. I think it's well worth it, but they won't insure shared lines. And so I recommend having this line cleaned, and then also finding out, if you have it cleaned, they could probably just locate it, and then they could tell you whether that's shared with a neighbor or whether that's dropping into a city line. I'm going to end this recording now.